Come on. Load up. Wrong way. Oh, something's happening. Okay, I think that's working. Come on. Oh, there we go. Hey everybody, I think I made it almost on time tonight. Daisy, Barry, Jamie, Ava, Kelly, Gypsy Soul, Paige, Ben, Stockard Whiteman, Paulina. Excellent. Hey, well, I just got done. Go away. There we are. I just got done finishing the weekend's videos. I literally just finished a few minutes before we went live here. And I thought, I'm going to have time to do a wee live stream tonight, so here we are. It was either going to be tonight or at some point over the weekend. Just business as usual. Restoring pictures, clean up this one with these two handsome fellas a bit. Hi, Gypsy Soul. I wonder if I could get like a stand to put the chat on. That'd be pretty good. Okay, just a little despeckling on this one, really. Hi, Mara. They work you really hard. I was working pretty much from the moment I woke up until about 10 minutes ago. But everything's done now, so it's relaxing time for Hellfreezer. Okay, just checking, as I always do. You can definitely hear me, right? From Siri with love. Hi, hello, how are you doing? Okay, good. I just need occasional reassurance to know that I haven't disappeared. What have I got for snacks? I grabbed something from the fridge. Refresher Softies Minis. I don't think I've had these before. Hope they're good. Try to find something that wouldn't be too crunchy. Okay, just to fill you in the picture here, that's a little Hellfreezer there. And I think that was my that would have been my confirmation or Holy Communion, one of those, I think. And that's my father, in case you couldn't tell just by looking at us. Johanna, I'm munching on, it's made by Barrett, it's Refresher Softies. They're usually quite chewy, these things, but a little while ago, a few years back I think, they brought out just a soft smushy version, and they're actually quite nice. Yep, those ones had a little bit of a tint in them. In this picture, how old was this? I'd have been what, 12 then, maybe 11? Not sure. Yeah, well, I was quite handsome when I was younger. Sadly, that did not continue as I aged. Now, when I walk down the street, I tend to get the villagers following behind me with burning torches and pitchforks. You get used to it after a while. Just make sure. I think that's a reflection. That's a little blemish. Ever had a Hershey's Gold? It's caramelized chocolate peanuts and pretzels. I have a bit of an iffy relationship with Hershey's. I did try the cookies and cream bar, which I actually quite liked. Although I tried the Kissies and... Okay, there's no polite way to say this. Hershey's Kissies taste like they've taken really nice chocolate and mixed vomit with it. So that kind of put me off the whole thing. No, I look awful right now, but if the skin clears up, drop a lot of weight, and look out ladies, I'll be on the loose. Getting close to the food. Sorry to disappoint you, Kelly, but this little fella right here is as close as you'll get to a face reveal until I am handsome again. Well, Daisy, the break isn't over yet. And so, as far as I'm concerned, that's break time. That's not work time. Ah, Jacqueline. I think there's another one where I'm not smiling, whatever was going on. Oh, there it is. That was taken that same day. I don't know what was bothering me. My mother looks slightly bemused. There we are. That's the one we're working on. Barry, well, I can't date you if I wanted to. Not good looking, too underage. Yeah, that second one's a complete deal breaker. The first one's subjective. I don't know, he's smiling. That's my dad smiling. You can see a little bit of a smile there. And if I was wondering, I think... Oh yeah, that's his green tie he's got. I think I've got that tie still somewhere. I made sure to hang on to his ties when his clothes were getting cleared out after he passed away. Who was the dude playing guitar in the other picture? That was my father when he was much younger. I need to clean up the edges on that one, so... I think we've got a little bit of discoloration here, so let me see if I can do anything about that. Yes, my dad was very proud of his kids. Right, don't need a brush. Sometimes the quickest way to fix things when you're doing adjustments is just to paint over them. Hang on, what? Someone's covering me in chocolate? Steph, are you currently dating anyone, Hellfreezer? No, I thought I'd be kind to the women of Scotland and not date any of them. They've been through enough. On the first streams, we were going to cover Hellfreezer with chocolate and other food. Now we're playing Matchmaker. Hellfreezer, how did you know you wanted to narrate? How did you feel after your first video ever? Well, I heard other people do it. I thought, that sounds like a lot of fun. I wonder if I could do that. So I tried it. With very poor equipment. I actually still have the phone I used to record. I only got a new one soon. It's starting to wear down a bit. And sorry, I'm enjoying my sweets very much. So I made the first video. I was very, very nervous. I believe the expression shitting myself constantly with fear would be appropriate. Well, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. But I put the first video up. And I was very nervous, but it got some views, it got some comments, and I thought, oh, people like me. So I made another one. And it kind of gets like an addiction. But it was an addiction that helped me build the channel, so. Hey Todd Jones, I'm doing well, I hope you're doing well too. Amanda Kreitz? I want to say Kreitz. Kreitz read. How old were you in these pictures? I think about 12. What comes first? Is it communion or confirmation? I think confirmation is second. Now, I'm wearing my school uniform here. Come on, chat, behave yourself. There we go. That's it. Scroll up. There we are. How big an age difference should there be for it to work hell? What you mean for people dating me? Well, I'm 37. I'd rather have someone fairly close to my own age. There was some kind of silly little rule as to the ideal age range for someone to date. Was it half your age plus 7? So, what's half of 37? I saw this in QI a while ago. Half of 37 would be... Brain's gone blank. But 18 and a half, I guess. Plus 7, so I guess 25 is my ideal, but no. mean, if I was dating someone at 25, that would mean they were 12 years younger than me. Maybe. I say I prefer someone around about my age. Maybe 5, 10 years either way. I mean, it really depends on the person, I suppose. Lemonade coming off is, yes, YouTube is my full-time job. I'm hoping to move into audiobook narration at some point this year, but the idea is I'll split my time between the both of them. Hey, Shrek. I'm glad to hear that, Todd. You've earned a rest, no doubt. Johanna, this addiction of yours. Hi, Gypsy Soul. Thank you, Barry. Kreitz. Okay. ASMR mukbang channel. That sounds vaguely pornographic. Someone has a mobile disco in their car. Good for them. But shut up if you wouldn't mind. There's a good chap. Is Barry heading away? Okay, bye-bye, Barry. Someone just asked, "Are you rich?" Ha! No, I'm not rich. But that rule you'd have an age range of 25 to 60? I don't know where the 60 came from. I might be a bit old. Although that being said, this is going to sound really dodgy, but there's quite a few women in that age range that I had crushes on when I was a younger lad, and they really haven't become any less attractive to me as I've gotten older. I mean, Cassandra Peterson, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. She hasn't really changed much as Elvira, but she's a gorgeous looking woman when she's just herself. And of course, Gates McFadden, Marina Sirtis. I can't pray for you, Shrek, but I will be sending positive thoughts. Okay, well, I'll probably miss Mara, but bye, Mara. Mukbang is eating ASMR. Oh, hang on, someone is being creepy. I would like to have your children, Hal Fraser. Don't take this the wrong way, but I wouldn't. Not with anyone. I'm happy to being an uncle. . Yeah, sorry for the ticking. I forgot to close the door again. I can close the door over if it's bothering anyone. Hi, tiny green turtles. Yes, they are sexually harassing me, this chat. Alright, Barry, I could kick you out of chat if that helps you get back to whatever it is you should have been doing. Phoenix Shepherd, do you play any video games? Yeah, I mostly go between Sherlock Holmes and Batman games, with occasional entries into virtual reality. Lemonade, I'm 5'7". Using... Hey Mara. Mara Amitra Dyer. Sure. Amanda, your channel is way underrated, so to be real, you should be rich. Well, my channel would have to be rated or maybe even a little overrated. Then I could start pulling in that sweet PewDiePie money. Or whoever the most successful YouTuber is right now. Probably somebody I've never heard of. They usually are. I think Hellfreeze is a gilf hunter. No, I can just appreciate a beautiful woman. Well, Elvira's never actually confirmed it, but I think we all know she's really a vampire. Todd Jones, yep, that's my dad. That's my father and me. Steph, any reason you don't want kids? I just don't think I'd be a good dad. Spicy beard on aviators. PS4 phone. People keep saying the Spider-Man game was good. I'm tempted to pick up, like, if I can find a reasonably priced PS4, just so I can get that game. And there's another one I want as well. Aya Trunton, hi. Chrissa Amodito1. Hellraiser, if you like Batman games, do you watch Gotham the TV show? Yeah, I've seen pretty much everything Batman related, I think. It was one of those shows that I'd watch and I was kind of enjoying it, mostly based on the performances of the cast, for the first couple of years, but then it seemed like round about season 3, I think. Somebody, one of the higher ups must have just went, ugh, fine, do whatever you like, we don't care as long as the ratings stay up. And then it became kind of just completely balls to the walls wild. And it's been really enjoyable ever since. So I'm quite looking forward to season 5. Hi Sprocket. You can't tell, but I'm waving back to you as well. Bye, Daisy. Well, Lemonade's not wrong there. I mean, first, in order to have children, I would need to find a willing woman. I mean, I don't require much. Somebody roughly about my age. That's slightly negotiable. A bit creative on the artsy side, professionally. That was artsy, not arsey. And that's it. Oh, and obviously not evil, but I think that goes without saying. Nearly caught up, right? Pretty sure babies understand sarcasm can be appropriate. Well, you can raise them to understand sarcasm. Hi, Rochelle. Witcher 3. I think I can get the Witcher games on PC. Mary, you should get a face cam. It would be kind of a waste of money. Although I was looking at cameras the other day. Hang on, somebody's been harsh? Where? No, Lemonade's not being cruel. I'm quite literally am single. Look at Whiteman, are traps gay? I could steal somebody else's answer to that, but I'm sure some of them are, some of them aren't. As long as they're having a good time, best of luck to them. Have you watched Black Mirror? I've only seen 2 episodes of Black Mirror so far. There was Be Right Back with Hayley Atwell and Domhnall Gleeson, which I quite enjoyed. It was a bit of a depressing ending, but I quite enjoyed it. And I know, shockingly, Black Mirror was depressing. And the other one, can't remember what was the other one. The Star Trek one, USS Callister. I usually just kind of have a look through the episode synopsis and think, oh, that sounds interesting. And then I'll pop on and see if I like it. How's your Jimmy? It's getting there. I'll be hosting Big Fat Quiz before you know it. In fact, there's one of them on. I think it's on right now. I'll catch you later on the Channel 4 catch-up thingy. Okay, bye-bye, Barry. Me and my twin would love to be sister wives to Hellraiser. Steady on. I'll need the one. I mean, I suppose one could chop the wood and the other could dig in the garden. Yeah, maybe. Hi, AJ. Buy lemon grabloids. Yeah, Johanna, the thing is, Andrew, whatchamacallhim, he's actually a really good actor, that guy. And, nah, they just ruined it. Is anybody going to discuss the new Doctor Who? Well, we can if you'd like, Ava. Do you watch Last Slag? I've seen bits and pieces of Last Slag. Bye, Todd. New Year's resolutions. Don't really make them, but I'm determined to get in shape this year. At the very least, get back to where I was about 10 years ago. Because I have one picture of myself from 10 years ago of the shape I was in back then. And I was actually surprisingly buff. Not like Mr. Universe, but certainly more muscular than I am now. The thing is, I'm lucky that the guys in my family are kind of the way we're built naturally. our bodies kind of lend themselves more towards, building muscle. So it shouldn't be too difficult. I just need to get off my bum and actually do it. So eat healthier, exercise more. It's essentially easy advice for getting healthy and losing weight, and that's just what I need to do. Andrew Scott. Thank you, Sprocket. That was his name, yes. Hey, honey bubs. I'm just going to call you Jenna. Sikaz, how are you doing? Sorry, Tiny Green Turtles. If it helps, I have one left, and then they're all gone. Ironically, eating these has made me hungrier than I was when I started. Lovely Lynn. What's this about waiting until you're handsome for a face reveal? Well, that's really more about me than anyone else, isn't it? Laura Sage. Round is a shape. If it's a shape you're happy with, then that's the right shape to be in. Can we see that picture? No, because it is the only shirtless picture of myself I have, and I'm sure as hell not showing that on a live stream. I took it as an idea of keeping track of progress, then things started to fall apart health-wise. So I'll probably actually need to take another one soon as to where I am right now. Then as I begin working out, take more in, track my progress through the weeks. Ava, well, okay, we'll get to Doctor Who in a minute, Ava. Great, start with our sweets. It was only a teeny tiny bag. What I do is every Christmas time I go through and I tell myself, well, it is Christmas, I should probably just get some sweets and biscuits and things because it's Christmas time and I'm allowed to indulge. You know, that nonsense people tell themselves so they can do whatever they like at Christmas. So as well as that, I get all the shortbread and Madeira cake. I think I've still got After Eights in the cupboard in the kitchen. And, yeah, Christmas is over now and I've still got half of it there. Break out the Spanx and go jogging, go be in shape in no time. Oh, no thank you, no Spanx for me. Quite right, Johanna, good for you. I missed what it is you're reading. It's Refreshers, but these ones are Refresher Softies. Little gummy versions of the actual sweets is what they are. They're actually quite nice. Hey, Trunton, which Sherlock Holmes game is the best in your opinion? They are my list of games to play. They're my big English, not my one language. Your English is fine, my love. The best one. It's either Testament or Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. Now, Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper does have a lot of problems. That each game gets better in terms of performance and graphics. And the Jack the Ripper one does have some of the problems the earlier games had, where they reuse a lot of the same NPCs, a lot of the same voice actors and things. So, and you do still have the creepy Watson thing in there, but it's probably one of the most enjoyable games. I want to be a trapezoid. Well, Shrek, if you believe you can achieve anything you want. Sprocket, yep, I actually took the bike out the other day. I got light. I was finally able to get it out with the lights on it so I could test them out. What phone do you have, Freezer? Essential, not an Apple sheet. No, I've never really been a fan of Apple for many, many reasons. The current phone I have is an Asus Zenfone 2, which has done me well for the years, and I really do like it, but it's starting to get a little bit wonky here and there. So I'm thinking, if I save my pennies, I might like to get one of the Galaxy Edge. I think they're up to 9 right now, aren't they? But we'll see. I might see what the latest Asus this one is, because that's been quite good. And my Christmas sweets. Well, that's good. It shows you've got restraint. I've developed more restraint as I've gotten older. It used to be Christmas Day, I'd stuff my face with everything I could, then have my dinner, then have my pudding. Lately, I usually have my dinner and I think, right, I'm too full. So I do have my pudding, but I get it the next day. Okay, someone wanted to discuss Star Trek. I think it was Ava. Not Star Trek. Doctor Who. That's what it was. Personally, I'm quite enjoying the new Doctor Who. I thought the first few episodes were weak. I don't think they need as many companions as they've got because it essentially means they're focusing less on character development overall because they have more characters. I think 2 companions plus the Doctor would be fine. Even if they had like a rotating thing where you had like 2 of them in one episode and then the other 2 in the other, that would work. I think Jodie's doing quite a good job. I'm looking forward to seeing more from her. I think Chris Chibnall is probably the weakest of the showrunners we've had, but he seems to be backpedaling on some of the decisions he's made quite firmly. I mean, he said quite firmly there will be no classic monsters. Nope, not going to happen. You're not going to see them. Oh, by the way, the Daleks are in the New Year special. So, that sort of thing. But, yeah, certain things are annoying me. The lack of a Christmas special really annoyed me. I hate that the episode count's been reduced. The things that seem to be annoying me is basically just a lack of in not anything with the actual show. It's the show we're getting. Because I think Jodie Whittaker found her feet as a Doctor quicker than Peter Capaldi did. Because as much as I love Peter Capaldi's Doctor, he suffered from the writers trying to make his Doctor too mysterious and too alien, basically. Then they quickly backpedaled on that, and in Capaldi's second and third years, they were a bit more hands-off. It's the impression I got. They were a bit more hands-off, and they said to him, okay, Peter, what do you want to do with the character? Let's try it your way. That's the impression I get. Because his performance in series 9, was it? Anyway, in the second year, felt much more natural, more organic than his previous year's performance, which there was parts of it I enjoyed. But overall it felt too forced. Sprocket, yeah, I think a bit of a story arc would benefit the show overall, and they might try that next year. I mean, they did have elements. There was a Parks episode which was well done, but I don't think that a very American story like that should have been tackled by a British TV company. It felt a bit disingenuous. Is that the right word? Well executed, well performed, especially with Bradley. What's his name? He's actually been kind of the revelation of that show. Bradley Walsh, that's who it is. Tim Shaw, yeah, I didn't like Tim Shaw. Bye, Gypsy Soul. Have a nice dinner. Well, look, yeah, Jodie does certainly echo a lot of the past Doctors, but I'm hoping as she moves into subsequent seasons, she's able to kind of hone her performance a little more, so that it's more Jodie and less. Cause that's clearly Matt Smith, that's clearly David Tennant, that sort of thing. Hey, Master Tyler. More glitch in the Matrix next week. More spinning plates tomorrow night. Hi, Phoenix Shepherd. Thanks. Glad to have you aboard. Cubed or crushed ice? It really depends on what I'm doing. Crushed ice is really nice if you mix it with fruit juice and things like that. Cubed if you're just trying to keep your drinks cool, or if you're chucking it into a smoothie. And sometimes I'm adventurous and I have balls. Anyone not seen Bird Box? I haven't seen Bird Box yet. I might check it out this weekend. We'll see what mood I'm in. Somebody asked, Kat, I'm a big fan of yours. What's your thought on Netflix's Star Trek? If you're talking about Star Trek Discovery, I've seen it, and there was quite a lot I enjoyed about it. There's quite a lot I didn't like as well. I usually encourage people, if it's a new person asking if it's worth starting, if it's worth watching, I usually tell them, yeah, it actually is worth watching, but skip the first 2 episodes and start with episode 3. Because those first 2 episodes were a waste of time and money. Wasn't really necessary. You can literally just start in episode 3 and you learn everything you need to know about the characters there. It also makes Burnham a little bit more sympathetic, because you didn't just spend a couple hours watching what an idiot she'd been when she betrayed her captain uniform in the Federation. Bloody Burnham. Anyway. But, like I said, enjoyed the show overall. Loved the stuff with Lorca. I'll try not to get too spoilery, in case anyone's planning to watch it, but you know the twists and turns that happened with that storyline there. And I'm quite pleased by they've basically listened to people, and they've kept a lot of the changes they've made to the Klingons, but they've basically brought back the hair and the beards and everything, which I think improves the redesign massively. No word on whether or not they still have 2 penises though. Peaky Blinders, I don't think I've actually seen Peaky Blinders. It's on Netflix, Amazon Prime. I think it's on one of those services. Hey, Georgina. Hey, Zakaz. 8:30 a.m. in Australia. Oh, it's very early for you guys. Currently, it's... Well, you can actually probably see what time it is on your screen. It's 9:45 for us as British folks. Stranger Things 3. I think I didn't actually like Stranger Things myself, but I think the 3rd one is out this year, as far as I understand it. Is there anything I'm waiting for in Netflix this year? Well, actually, yes. Now that I think about it, obviously there's Star Trek Discovery Season 2 about this month. I'm still waiting on the short treks. Get your finger out, Netflix. Then there's a new season of Jessica Jones. I haven't finished The Punisher yet, but I'll watch that. Although I think we can pretty much guarantee that once they air those, they're going to announce they've cancelled them right after it. Because if they cancelled Daredevil, they're certainly going to cancel all the rest of them. And there will be... I wasn't expecting it to at least 2020, but apparently the Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard Star Trek show will be later this year. Then we've got the New Adventures of Chilling Sabrina. I think that's April, so that was much earlier than I was expecting to get it. So yeah, there's some good stuff coming out on Netflix this year. Alright. Nope, that's a paintbrush. What am I doing? It's the hell freezer. Nope. Oh yeah, that's the right one. that's Dr. Women. I haven't seen season 3 of Daredevil yet, but I'm told it's an improvement over season 2, but not as good as season 1, from what I understand. Rochelle, I hate zombie movies. Females are always turned into broodmares. Depends on the movie. I mean, if you look at the George Romero one, that's not really the case. The George Romero movies, it's not really the case there. There's Warm Bodies, which is quite an interesting take on the zombie thing. Let me think any more. Oh, Fido, that was a really good one. That stars Billy Connolly. It's essentially a world where zombies are being kept as pets. There's probably many others, but I'll stop there. Phoenix Shepherd, yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm really hoping that they will. If they said they're going to use the characters, I think it's 2020 before they can use the characters again because of the deals they had in place. So I really hope they do keep the characters, because it would be weird if they recast, because it's already established that the Netflix shows were in the MCU. So if the actors still want to do it, keep them. Tony Barnes, are there any other channels besides horror that are like yours? Well, I don't think there's too many others that are exactly like mine, because I tend to keep quite a wide variety of content. But there are channels like Fun with Failure who do the funnier stuff as well. There's others as well, but I don't really watch a lot of narration channels. Well, I actually don't watch any narration channels anymore, so I don't get influenced by the stuff they're doing. Right, let's shift over to something else. I'll work on this one now. Thoughts on Star Wars? Love it, hate it, indifferent. More of like it. Don't love it, don't hate it. I've seen all the original movies. I've seen all the prequels. I wasn't too enamored of them. And I've seen half of the first of the current trilogy. And I'll probably watch the rest of them at some point, as well as the Rogue One and the Han Solo, and I'm sure they'll do a Boba Fett at some point. And they'll probably do a Chewbacca or something. But yeah, more of a Star Trek fan than a Star Wars fan, but yeah, there's plenty to enjoy in Star Wars. My sweets are all gone. Ah, well. Oh, the Star Trek captains. I think my favourite Star Trek captain was Sisko. In fact, if I was going to rank them, it would probably go Sisko, Picard. I'm going to be controversial here. Archer, Kirk, Lorca, Giorgio, and then Janeway. Chic, this channel gay as fuck. Thank you, I appreciate that. Rochelle, well, there's a film or is it a TV show coming out, should be in the next few years, where all the men are dead, so it's only women that are alive. You might find that a bit more interesting. It's called Why the Last Man. So, well, okay, there's one dude that survived, and his monkey. I'm sure there's a metaphor in there somewhere, but it's basically how women are recovering the planet after all the dudes are gone and trying to figure out how they're going to keep the human race going. Oh, I used to love Quantum Leap. I was just kidding, bro. I thought you were paying me a compliment, but okay. Yep, liked him. Like Jessica Hines. Well, she's not Jessica Hines anymore, is she? Is it Jessica Stevenson? Is that her name? I liked her. She was actually one of my top choices when I knew for a female Doctor Who. But they went with Jodie Whittaker, and Jodie's been okay. What's a really obscure thing you like? There's a film. There's a film that came out. Okay, I'm going to have to look up information about the film. I'm going to put chat down. Don't worry. I'll be right back. Right, close. What am I on right now? Close your eyes. I'm on Reddit. Probably shouldn't be showing Reddit. We go to Wikipedia. There we are. I don't remember the one with young Stephen King. I think he met Elvis at one point, but most of his time travel shows do. Even Legends did. Well, they met Elvis and his brother. Spell. Right, Fiend, is it F-E-I-N-D? That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, it's going to get a bit more difficult. Anyway, the film I'm talking about was called Fiend. Came out, I think it was the late 70s. It starts off in a cemetery, and the effects are very dated these days. There's this kind of glowing red figure moving across the cemetery, and it happens upon this grave. I think the guy's name was Dorian. And film. It's kind of hard to track down information about it. And anyway, this spirit possesses the body in the grave and gets up out of it. Was it the Fiend? And what he does, in order to... He's all very monstrous and hideous looking at first. And he chokes people. It's the Fiend. That's it. I think that's the one. Widowberries. No, that's not the one. No, it's not a serial killer one. I was sure there was information on Wikipedia about it. The Finder? No. Hi Nelly, thanks a lot for stopping in. Have you had any paranormal stories happen to you? Asked Phoenix Shepherd. Just hearing my mother's voice after she passed away. And it's debatable how paranormal that was. In 1980. Let me search that. See, I think it's actually just Fiend. 1980. 1080. That's a bit early. There we are. Yes, that's it. Fiend film. See, but there, I knew you was on. That's it. There it is. Right, handsome chap there. Don Liefert. I don't know the guy that played. Where did I get the name Dorian from? Eric Longfellow. Really not sure where I got the name Dorian from. Anyway, right, and that's the film I was talking about. Hell, Fraser is Scottish, aye, yes indeed. I've been wanting to ask you for a while, are you Irish? You sound Irish. This film I've seen is Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm probably not going to watch Bohemian Rhapsody. Scroll away from that picture because, so. We are discussing the film, so that would technically be fair use, but let's not chance our luck. This was made on a $6,000 budget. Although I'm not sure what the equivalent would be, but that was probably still cheap even for the 80s. But yeah, pretty low budget film. I've got a VHS copy of it somewhere, and someone mentioned it seems to be up on YouTube, although I'm fairly sure it shouldn't be, but apparently it's up on YouTube. And yeah, it's pretty enjoyable. I mean, it's been a few years since I've seen it, so my actual be rubbish. A little more than a backyard movie at worth time. How rude. I don't know, a bit of sad information, but the actor Don Liefert passed away in 2010. That's the kind of thing that bums me out whenever I'm watching an older film or a TV show or something. I think, oh, I wonder what the cast are doing now. I wonder if they're still working. And then I go and I look and I say, oh, half these people are dead. It can be so depressing. Bohemian Rhapsody, yeah, I'm a bit iffy on biopics because they're essentially just works of fiction based kind of loosely on real life. The only one of those I've liked because it was essentially a biopic, but it was more fiction than not, was Velvet Goldmine, which was obviously the story of David Bowie, just with all the names and everything changed. But Bohemian Rhapsody, nah. I understand it's good performances, good cast and everything. But really, like, I just watched the Live Aid concert, I'd probably get the gist of it. Alright, oh, we're coming up on an hour there. Well, we'll maybe go till 11, let's see. I've got a few more pictures to work on. And, we'll discuss stuff as and when it pops up. So let's get back to Photoshop. Well, has the chat just stopped or is it just frozen? Yeah. Although, well, there was a biopic I actually did really enjoy. It's called Gods and Monsters, starring Brendan Fraser and Ian McKellen. I think it's just a film. You get the right cast in place. It was so good. It was about the later days of James Whale and the friendship he had with his gardener or his pool man or something. And it was kind of touching and sad in a way. And for those who don't know, James Whale, he's the director of Frankenstein. Back in the 1930s. I wonder if Prime has that movie Fiend. I don't think it's available on Amazon Prime. Well, it's not available in the UK, I don't think. You can buy copies of it. I'm not sure how easy it would be to find, though. As I say, I mean, it was a very low budget film. It came out in 1980, so I was a little bit off on the date. Bye, AJ. Take care. No, you see, that's my problem with biopics. You're never going to get the true story. You're going to get some fans' interpretation of it, or in the case of the Queen movie, you're going to get their version of events, which might be true, it might not be. They might be looking at it through rose-coloured glasses. I do know the film that was originally intended to be made starring Sacha Baron Cohen, who I don't like him as a comedian, but as an actor, he's actually quite solid. He wanted to do a very honest, a very brutally honest, warts and all kind of film, but that apparently wasn't the story they wanted to tell. Plus, it wasn't. It was a story of Queen, which is fair enough. When I think more people would have preferred it if it was a story of Freddie Mercury. But no, there you go. Venom got killed by critics, yeah, but I think Venom actually did quite well box office wise. How did that do? Venom. Yeah. It's getting very close to $1 billion worldwide box office. 855.5 million on a, let's just say, $116 million budget. Did well. In fact, I think I'm not sure how the last Spider-Man film did, but it certainly did better than the last Andrew Garfield Spider-Man film. Glass, yeah, I'm quite curious about Glass. I'll still need to see Split first. I know it's up on that Now TV thing, but it's not. It doesn't seem to be a great service, does Now TV. Plus, what I have noticed is, if you're in the UK and you've watched stuff on Netflix and then you've been able to compare with the British TV, you'll notice there's a difference in the pitch of the audio, and that's to do with the frame rate. There's a slightly faster frame rate in the UK than they have in the US, so that means they speed things up basically when they're showing US shows on British television. If it's all you've ever seen, you wouldn't notice it, but if you've seen the difference, and once you've seen the difference, it becomes quite noticeable. Netflix doesn't do it. Amazon Prime doesn't do it. They just show you the originals as they're meant to be, and there's really no reason, because of the TVs we have nowadays, that there should be a problem with showing the actual original episodes. But Now TV shows the British broadcast versions of shows, and my ears are kind of sensitive to that pitch shift, and it's so irritating. So I don't know if the movies will be similarly affected, but I certainly know the few TV shows I checked it on it were. Hey Ramsey, how you doing, man? Hope you had a nice Christmas and New Year and all that. Take care of the worst stuff, and then that should be a decent. Do the noise reduction and take care of the rest. BBC version. I didn't know they were doing that. I do know they're doing a version of the Dracula with Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss. They did cast Dracula a few weeks back. I can't remember his name though. See how he does. See who they cast for the other roles. I'm not sure if they're going classic or modern with it though. Inspiration for the glitch stories come from. Yeah, but back when I was doing them, there weren't a lot of people doing them. Never mind, I started doing mine about 3 years ago, I think. I just saw a couple other channels try them. I thought, well, that's interesting. I'll see if I can put them together in a compilation. And they seem to go down fairly well. Not the most popular thing I do, mind you, but there is a loyal audience for them. Louise, I'm doing well. Stalker Whiteman, if you're actually seriously asking, it's the British Broadcasting Corporation. Fine, upstanding British institution. Yes. No, I'm just restoring old family pictures. This fella here was called Shane. He was my father's family's dog when he was younger. Picture looks to be taken behind glass by the looks of it. With some sort of ball in his mouth. Might move on to t-shirt designs at some point if I can think of any ideas. Tony Barnes Maurer. Thank you, Tony, very much. My life is far from being happy, but I must thank you for you and your channel. On my roughest days, sometimes all I need are my headphones and your channel to help me escape. Thank you for what you do. Thank you so much for supporting me, Tony. It means the world to me. Common thing I notice about these older pictures, you get these little faded bits near the edge. Hey Barry, I hope your shopping trip went well. I think I've taken care of most of that, so let's try Control J, and we'll put a filter on this. Noise, dust and scratch. Come on, dust and scratches. Well, that does help. It's a little too heavy. How's that? Oh, that's a little bit. Oh, thanks very much, Georgina. Very kind, appreciate it. I don't mind shopping as long as it's the kind where I don't have to leave the house. I quite enjoy browsing Amazon for things I'm needing. It's almost therapeutic. Bye, Sprocket. Thanks for stopping in. Louise Davis. If it's a picture you want me to work on, you can email it to me. If you want me to do it privately, I can do it privately. Or if you want me to work on a stream, I can do it on a stream. Do you know about Wanksy, the guy in the UK? Oh dear. I think I've heard of that. Something in passing. Night night, Amanda. Sleep tight. What's your subscriber goal for the end of 2019? Well, I'm currently at about 57,000. Would be nice if I could hit 70,000. I mean, I'd love to be at 100,000, but quite frankly, I just think that's unrealistic. Unless I get like a burst in growth in the channel, it's not going to happen. So 70,000 I think is doable. Actually, let me think. 70,000, I'd need to get another 12,800 something, I think. If I remained at my current rate of growth, which I won't, because it kind of goes up and down throughout the year, I'm at just over 2,000 a month, so I could probably do that in about 6 months, roughly 6-7 months. But it probably will go down because it tends to at the start of the year anyway. Did that guy ever get to? Yeah, eventually, but by that time, the time I'd put aside to actually do it, had elapsed, and I told him, look, I just don't have the time to do it now, and I just moved on from it. I'm going to be sending out auditions at some point in the next few weeks, well, maybe next couple of months at most, to people on Audible, though, where there's a bit more of a system in place to make sure that you keep up your end and they keep up their end. I'm still a virgin when it comes to sending emails. Oh. I did Beelzebubs. Hope you did too. I really don't like Ricky Gervais. Like, I really don't like Ricky Gervais. There's some people you just take an instant, passionate, fiery hatred towards, and Ricky Gervais is one of those for me, the smug git. Nicole Mackett, no, I don't smoke weed. It's not actually legal in this country. Not that that stops some people, but well, Ramsey, that's the thing. You keep plugging away at it, and curiously, the more subscribers you gain, the more subscribers you gain. But it comes in fits and bursts. It goes up and down. You shouldn't expect it to be consistent all the time. And it's just a matter of dedication. Just sticking at it. Bullshit. No, I was so tired by the end of chat the other day. I thought, you know what? I just had a cheese sandwich, brushed my teeth, and then went to bed. Stalker Whiteman, what's a completely useless skill you have? Example being able to chug a bottle of hot sauce in 50 secs. I can pick things up with my toes. Actually, that's quite useful when I think about it. Cheese nightmares. I've never had a nightmare from eating cheese. James Corden's like, I don't dislike James Corden, but I'm not really a fan either. Ever thought about making animated stories? I'd have to learn how to animate first. But yeah, I have actually thought about it. Every now and again I'll come across something and I think, oh, that would look really good with my voice going over and little characters popping up. That's impressive, Barry. Favorite YouTubers? Am I even allowed to go to my own YouTube channel to show you? That should be alright, surely. Right, well, these are the people I'm subscribed to. Some of these aren't my favourites, I just haven't unsubscribed from them. Inspiration. Right, well, the people I watch most often at the moment are Janet Devlin. She's an Irish YouTuber. She's a musician, and she's got this lovely voice. Really has. I think she was actually on X Factor or something a few years back, but I didn't see that. And when she does it, Kate McGill, though she's not been around a lot. I'm very fond of Keena Grannis as well. And let's have a look through here. I quite like Stuart Ashens. I haven't actually watched Boys Avenue for a while. Dodie Clark, she's quite good. I quite like her stuff. A lot of these are musicians I'm noticing. Well, Felicia Day doesn't really count as a YouTuber anymore. Not that I don't love her with all my heart, but she doesn't really count as a YouTuber. Oh yeah, Junkball Media, they do quite good Star Trek themed videos. And recently I've been watching it's some like fitness people. So I came across a channel that I quite like called Buff Dudes. I think I was talking about them in the outro a while ago. The two brothers are blonde. Shockingly, they're both buff. And unlike a lot of the fitness people I come across, they seem quite nice. Seem quite friendly. I came across one guy, he was doing like a meal prep video. He seemed just really, really angry. It's like, dude, if you're that angry, why would you turn on the camera? Anyway. Anyway, yeah, favorite YouTubers. There's also, I mentioned Count Jacula a lot, but he does these live streams quite a bit where he just sits down and chats. Really enjoy them. They're really good when I'm working as well, so I take little breaks in between. I watch his stuff. The Horror Guru as well. They're I think they share a house together. If you haven't checked out Mary Spender, I definitely recommend Mary Spender. She's also another musician. And there's Andertons. They do guitar reviews and the like. Let me think. Things that aren't music related. Sorry for the sudden silence. I'm just realising half of these ones I've subscribed to I don't even watch and probably won't ever watch again. Raina Scully, she's not bad actually. Now and again. Raina Scully and the stuff I was watching earlier. I can't remember what. Oh, he's quite good. It's Alex Day, Scotchbox. He does these whatchamacallums. Star Trek Bridge Crew videos. Does a lot of live streams over on Twitch as well, and other games too. He's very funny, quite charming. I think he's actually he's a masseuse by trade, but he's also an actor. Apparently, I subscribed to the channel Texan in Tokyo. I don't remember doing that. I remember watching their stuff, but I don't remember subscribing. In fact, I think they stopped making videos a couple of years back. Alright, Barry, settle down now. Tony, well, if people want to send stories, they can send it to kingofthecities@gmail.com. If you didn't quite catch that, it's in the description of every video. And that's kind of the public email. Welcome back, Mara. That's kind of the public email I have. So if anyone needs to contact me for stories, if they've anything else they want to talk to me about, they can get me through that. Mr. Ramsey. Well, the thing is, Mr. Ramsey, I like Telltale games, but if I'm playing a game, I'm playing a game. If I'm watching a film, I expect the filmmakers to have done the work for me. So I'm probably not going to watch Bandersnatch. But yeah, it's people, like I say, Tony, people can send stories, and I also do seek them out myself. Most of the ones are ones that I've sought out myself and sought permission to use. Competitive Eaters? No, I don't really watch them. Rochelle, I can survive in the Rocky Mountains for a while with nothing but my clothes and a knife. I'd say that counts as a talent, absolutely. Okay, here's a question. What's your favorite band? Kind of music do you like? I never asked that before. I'll get to that one in a sec. Nicole, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it wasn't too scary. And I hope it settles down and doesn't harass you too much more. Well, Mara, people were talking about their useless skills, and I'm about to talk about music. Right, usually better to. Right, it's just a list of things I can show you that. Now, this here doesn't mean I think all these songs are absolutely awesome. I've just got a thing where I have to have them all matching because it annoys me otherwise. Not to the point where I can't function, it's just mildly annoying. Right, so I can get my recent stuff and then we can talk from there. See, music-wise, I like a little bit of everything, really. Some stuff more than others. Well, really love Matchbox 20. In fact, last year when I was sick, watching Rob Thomas and Matchbox 20 videos was one of the things that helped cheer me up. I really wish I could play you samples of some of these songs, but I can't. I mentioned Kate McGill. She's a really good, really talented musician. She's going through quite a bad time right now because her mum passed away recently, and well, having been through that myself, I know how difficult that is to process. But she's in a group called Meadowlark, and she does solo stuff as well. Or rather, she used to do solo stuff as well. Mary Spender I've mentioned. That's my favourite song of hers, Primrose. And who else? Well, Right Said Fred. You can't go wrong with a bit of Right Said Fred. You're my lowest and oh my love. I mentioned Dodie. That's a lovely song she did. Sick of Losing Soulmates. Kelly Mellowa. I like a bit of Ed Sheeran. Now, my favourite male singer, hands down, there's many male singers I like, but my favourite is probably George Michael. Brutally honest, I have one sibling, my older sister. I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell, but if you stay a while, maybe then you'll see a different side of me. I think I prefer the acoustic version of that. There's a really good acoustic version on YouTube somewhere. I can't remember exactly where it is, but that's even better than the recorded version. Oh, your shift's over. Good, Paulina. Excellent. Did Tony leave? Oh, I meant to say goodbye. Do you like metal music? I can't think of any specific songs, but I'm sure there must be something here or there I've liked. What era of music do you like? Well, here's the thing. The thing I enjoy the most musically is basically just a singer and an acoustic guitar. That's like my favourite thing. It doesn't have to be from any particular decade. Now and again, I'll go through like moods. I was like, I want to listen to stuff from the 60s. I want to get that kind of vibe. Really love the 80s, or I'm feeling nostalgic for the stuff that from the 90s, from my teen years in the 1990s. Sabaton. I don't know what Sabaton is. Where can I send you a private email? That is kingofthecities@gmail.com. Can be found in the description of every video and in the contact section on the channel. And I believe it should also show up on screen if I'm in the closing card of my videos. What's the movie or song that has made you cry? I know the first movie that got me was Iron Giant. Oh, let me think. I tend to quite cry a lot at movies if they pull me in. Ooh, Dead Air. That's not a good thing. Well, I'll have a think about that. And we'll have another look down at the music list here. What about Nat Imbruglia, John Lennon? Oh, don't anybody remember these guys? Flicker Stick, from that show on VH1, Bands on the Run. I think they won it. I really loved those guys. And this was before I actually had access to the internet, so I had to phone up the local HMV and get them to order the album Welcoming Home the Astronauts In. And I actually still listen to it now and again. I really enjoyed them. I don't even think they're together anymore, but they were pretty good. They had kind of a Goo Goo Dolls vibe to me, and I really like the Goo Goo Dolls, so I think maybe that's why I enjoyed them. I think a song or movie that made me cry. I mean, there's been plenty over the years. Alright, you're gonna laugh at this one, but I got a little bit misty-eyed when I was in my younger years when My Heart Will Go On came out. Partly because it just depressed me, because I kept thinking about the Titanic. And I was like, oh my god, all those people died and all drowned at sea. That was so terrible. Oh dear. And a movie that made me cry? Let me think. I don't watch a lot of really sad movies. I think a little bit at Peter's Friends, but it wasn't really a sad ending. It was slightly sad. It was just the emotion, the friendship, and everything. Yeah. Hey Chen, how you doing? Can you keep singing? I can probably sing little bits and pieces, but I dare not attempt full songs. Even though YouTube does encourage that kind of thing. I am occasionally tempted to, I've got my guitar sitting there, to tune the guitar up and properly learn how to play a song. I'm not the best guitarist in the world. Probably learn how to play a song and just stick it up. But I've yet to pluck up the courage to do that. I think I've seen that years ago. I was probably very young when I saw it, though. Primrose, yeah, I think you can find it on. I think it's on Mary Spender's SoundCloud, and if you want to buy it, you can get it through Bandcamp. I think it's like a pound something. There might be a little VAT on there. I feel so unsure as I take your hand and lead you to the dance floor. As the music dies, something in your eyes, and so on. Yes, no. Barely adequate singing and mediocre guitar skills is probably a better way to describe it. Purple. Can you sing that song? Which song were you talking about, Steph? Careless Whisper? God, I thought, when I'm chatting to you guys, time always flies by. That's an hour and a half already. Stalker, when I rarely cry at movies, I get misty-eyed at best for even hard-hitting stuff. I think I cried at the season finale of Camp Camp, made by Rooster Teeth. Hi, Fred. What's that picture of Hannibal Lecter you've got there? Chan, I'm always on the lookout for Faith in Humanity stories. The last time I went looking, I couldn't find many, though. Or I couldn't find many that were long enough, rather. Back to the alt music. Well, I mentioned Goo Goo Dolls. Quite enjoy Frank Sinatra. In my teen years, I kind of discovered Frank Sinatra. Well, didn't discover him, he was already there. Sinatra, Dean Martin, quite enjoyed Sammy Davis Jr. as well. Just kind of the whole Rat Pack in general, really. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. Though it's easy to pretend, I know you're not a fool. Bye, Mara. Take care. Shift will be over before you know it. I didn't sing a whole song. I sang a couple of lines. Thanks, Fred. Appreciate it. Well, no, I mean, there's plenty of good people out there. It's just the good things in the world don't get the focus the bad things do. That's the damn tragedy of it. Sing a whole song. Don't let the moment melt away. I'll save it for another day. This time I'm not alone. All the times I've dreamed this kiss, closed my eyes and felt the bliss. This time I'm not alone. I'm taking you home. Dreaming dreams of yesterday. You and I, come what may. You and I were standing on the edge of tomorrow. And I can't get sued for that one because I made it up. I think that'll be all the singing for the evening. Sarah McLachlan. I really enjoy Sarah McLachlan. Oh, and I don't know if you guys have any of you folks here who are from the US have heard of Will Young. He won. He was kind of a surprise winner. I think to everybody, including himself, it was the surprise winner of Pop Idol, which you guys, of course, would know as American Idol. And he's a very genuinely nice and pleasant guy, and very talented as well. Of course, I knew he was gay when they were doing the behind-the-scenes stuff, when they asked everybody about their ideal date, who they'd love to go on a date with, and he chose the Queen. So I figured, yeah, probably at that point. Love that guy. Billy Joel, Lionel Richie, like a bit of Lionel. Alanis. Anything to recommend? Ingrid Michaelson, she's quite good. But where is he now? Talking about Will Young. He's still making music. Some stuff he had out last year, actually. Back to the Wikipedia. Cool thing about Will Young is he did the whole thing, met the contract and all that for the Pop Idol. Then eventually I think they dropped him, but he went and made his own way. And he signed with other people. I was like, yeah, there he is there, 2016. Echoes, change your record label and all that. Yeah, he's doing fine as our Will Young. Shane Ward, that was You Know Where I Come From. You know my... he wasn't bad actually, huh? Fruit Salad by the Wiggles, I don't know that one. I can't remember the last time I actually used a television to watch TV. I generally just stream stuff from Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that, or YouTube. Right, back to that picture I was working on. In fact, I think just a couple of little bits like this and that's about done. So let's flatten that down. Yeah, that should be okay. Do you know any Gaelic songs? I don't know. Okay, bye-bye, Barry. Take care. Well, when I was really young, I remember a show called Penny Crayon. I think it was Sue Pollard who did the voice. She's kind of a British icon, is Sue Pollard. It was about a young girl named Penny, shockingly, and she had this crayon. Bear with me. And anything she drew came to life. Yes, thank you. Yes, I do have my TV license. Pay it monthly. Quite frankly, I'm sure I'm overpaid by this point. Usually am. Cannot remember one happy Sarah McLachlan song. There's Ordinary World. No, Ordinary Miracle. It goes, it's not that unusual when everything is beautiful. It's just another ordinary miracle today. That's quite a nice one. Believe me, 80. No, 80 is a bit depressing. I think so, if I remember the lyrics. Then Possession is just frightening because it was about a stalker. Sarah McLachlan. I'm sure she's got other upbeat ones. Sweet Surrender, that's not too depressing. Building a Mystery, that's, well, I wouldn't. It's certainly not downbeat. No, I can honestly say Hell Freezer is not starving. Mildly hungry at the moment, but he really shouldn't be. Yahoo Karaoke back in the 2000s. I don't think I'd heard of that. Yeah, I'm quite fond of that one as well, Angel. I'm not sure what I can do with this. Just repair scratches. Do you make up all the character voices in each story yourself? Yep, just have a think about what sounds right and then go with what feels appropriate for each character. Sometimes it's based around another voice, a celebrity or something. Other times it's just whatever pops in my head. You're in the arms of an angel. Oh dear, are people just making song requests now? Bye, Angela. Oh, I will. I'm probably gonna wrap up in about 15-20 minutes. Then I'll go make dinner. Not sure what I'm having. I've got plenty in there though. I might make the stir fry. I tried to make a stir fry the other night, and I'd got loads of mushrooms that had been marked down in the local supermarket. Little tubs marked down to 5p with that day's date. So I tossed them in. I smelled them. They had this kind of awful fishy smell off them, which I've only ever smelled when mushrooms are going off. It wasn't too strong, but it was there, and I thought, I'd better not risk it, so I'd end up chucking all the whole thing out. Thankfully, it wasn't overly expensive, but still. But I've got everything I need there to make a proper one. Tiny green turtles. I need to make dinner too. Well, you should go make dinner then. Bon Jovi. I do know Bon Jovi, but I don't think I know Country Roads. Look, you're all very nice, but I don't think my voice is that great. It's serviceable. Or as I like to say, I can carry a tune, just not very far. Oh, they're not old enough to make you dinner by now, surely. Well, everybody has a singing voice. You know what? They totally are old enough. Though, in fairness, I think I was in my 20s before I actually started cooking dinner for my mother. I did kind of make it a ritual every Saturday after my father passed away. Every Saturday I wasn't working. I'd make a point. I'd pop out when I woke up. I'd buy ingredients, come home, and I'd make dinner. And if Doctor Who happened to be on, we'd sit down and watch Doctor Who together, just to make sure I was spending time with my mum. Sorry, that got very depressing very quickly. But yeah. I don't know how my funny Valentine goes. My funny Valentine. They won't have the lyrics on here. I don't want to put the lyrics up there. My funny Valentine. That's about all I know. Bye, Aja Trunton. Thanks for stopping in. Well, that's quite impressive, Stockard. All those sounds at once. You should be proud of that. I quite enjoy cooking, actually. When I eventually do finally find myself a girlfriend, it'll be quite fun to have somebody to cook for. See, my thing is, when I cook, I generally just make whatever it is, So if I'm making, say, chicken and white wine or something, which I might do this weekend because I've not had it for a while, I just use 2 jars, full bag of chicken, and like a big thing of mushrooms. Then I just freeze the rest. Have a nice big plate and freeze the rest. Good thing about that is next time I want it, I don't have to spend ages making it again. I've just basically got to thaw it out either in a pot or in the microwave, depending on what mood I'm in, how much of a rush I'm in. Yeah, but still, it's nice to be able to cook for someone else. Bye, Jekyll and L. Have a nice weekend. Phoenix, truer words have never been spoken. I was actually thinking the other day, if I got rid of my washing machine and my dryer and just got a 2-in-1, I'd have room for a dishwasher, but that's maybe a bit too far. Alright, don't have a nice weekend then. Do whatever you like. Okay then, as long as we're agreed, Jacqueline. I'm trying to think, what am I having for dinner? I've got a bit of steak in there. I think I've got everything I need to do. Well, do vegan mac and cheese. I've got enough to do that. I think I've got. I mean, my fridge and everything, the cupboards are all full. I worked illegally in a kitchen in England for 2 years as Phoenix Shepherd. As an immigrant from America, I got free beer. A baker, that's the best kind of cook. Nah, that'd just take up a lot of space. One to plug onto your taps. One the fancy one, it basically looks like a washing machine. Yeah, I mean, basically, if I get one, I just want one I can load up when the dishes are done and get it going. Although I did discover something pretty easy recently. I usually just use my pressure cooker for basically doing potatoes or things like that, but I've started doing rice in it. And the other night, was it last week maybe? I just threw a bunch of ingredients in there with a couple of flavour stock cubes, and it was actually quite nice. Not bursting with flavour, but over to get married, and there's your dishwasher. Now you see, if I was a woman, I could make that joke, but a man can't make that joke about a woman. Them's just the rules of the society we live in. I'm an aircraft mechanic by trade. I was stationed near Cambridge for 4 years. Excellent. Well, yes, Louise. I mean, I had made that assumption. Oh, that's a little young on our screens again. Yeah, I was never really forced to do the housework when I was a kid. I think I turned. Come on. I somehow turned the thing off. Come on. Now come back to me. There we go. Sometimes I do the lazy thing just so I don't have to do a lot of dishes where, you put a tray or whatever in the microwave, and I did it again, and just eat it in the tray it cooked in. I have perfectly nice plates and bowls and everything, but hire cleaner. Yeah, then you've got a stranger in your home judging you. Hi, Nick the Chick. Happy New Year to you too. Let's try. No, not that. Go away. Behave yourself. Take care of just that a little bit. Might help. Okay, too much. How's that look in comparison? Oh, that's quite a bit better actually. Well, no, I've got on a really good couple of weeks, I can have like 20,000 strangers listening to me, which is still pretty much just as awesome. I'm not sure how many of those 50,000 are active. Vespa. I'm not really sure what model this was. I suppose it's okay to show the license plate here. This thing will be scrapped by now. But it was my dad's moped. I just noticed the L plate on it there. Hey, Zarek. Phoenix, my wife is a hoarder. Cleaning sucks. Yeah, I'm kind of in the process of decluttering. I think that's the right term. I've got about half. Most of my rooms are alright. The living room could do with a wee bit of a tidying. I'll probably do that over the weekend. Won't take me too long. But I've got a room that essentially became a junk room upstairs. I've got that about half cleared right now. So I'll just continue to do that throughout the year. Bye, Avel. See you next time. Steph, yeah, I try to do that too, and it usually lasts for a few days after I get the kitchen all nice and clean. Then I think, I'll just do that in the morning, or I'll do that later. And then next thing you know, it's been several days. Kim Smells, favourite YouTubers. Oh, at the moment, I'd encourage you all to check out Janet Devlin. Buff Dudes. My favourites change, quite periodically. Buff Dudes, they do fitness videos. And what's the name of that guy? I can't remember his name. There's another fitness guy. Yeah, can't remember his name. Yeah, that's probably good advice Louise is giving you there, bud. Just a couple of knee supports under your trousers while you're working. It would certainly help. Maybe talk to a doctor to see if they can help you at all, but yeah, you can usually get stuff like that in... Well, actually, I don't know what stores you have locally. But any decent chemists that have them, I suppose. I remember last year, a few months back, when I had a bit of a tumble on my bicycle. I was in so much pain after it, I could not put any pressure at all on my leg. I was hopping around the house, and even that was painful. And I remembered I had what was basically a knee support there. Put that on, and within about an hour, I was still in pain, but I was able to move around the house. Them Dallas Page Yoga? No. It started with an R. I suppose I could just look it up. Right. You're about to get a look at my YouTube history. Brace yourself. You don't realize there's nothing concerning in there. Oh, I didn't mention Elena Fender. Well, Elena Joy she's called now. Forgot that. If anyone's wondering, I'm not actually watching my own videos. I was editing something. Oh, there he is there. Remington James. That's the name of the other guy I was talking about. He's quite interesting, his stuff. Recommended Janet Devlin. And this guy I actually quite like. He's one of the fitness ones I came across. I came across him last year. I spent about 10-20 minutes trying to find him again last night. Thomas DeLauer. He goes into all the scientific and all the of how things affect your body, and that he's pretty good. Is there anybody else in there worth mentioning? Also, Comics Explained and Comic Story, and if you're into like comic stories and that, people doing reviews and covering reiterating stories, that's quite interesting. I think that's about everything there. No, not into anime at all. Joe of the Dead. Yeah, I'm in the same situation. I mean, I'm not massively fat, but I know if I lose a bit of weight, it'll certainly help improve the problems I'm getting with acid reflux. So that's kind of my goal for this year, just to do that. And maybe build up a little more muscle. And I'd like to be a bit more defined, rather. We'll get there. One. Hi, Kieran. Yeah, I'm not bad. I hope you're okay too. I think I was mostly done. I need to reposition it, but we'll do that another day. Oop, there we go. A couple of little bits here and there on this one we'll work on. Well, diet's more of a changing diet than going on a diet, and it's making changes that are going to last longer. Change your eating habits. So no fad diets or anything like that. Just things that gradually change things, substitute things. That I no longer drink actual milk. I drink oat milk, and stop buying the really good bread, and now I have wholemeal bread. That sort of thing. Just little by little. And grilling your meat and semi veggies help. Yeah, I got a health fryer last year. It was one of the best purchases I ever made, and cooks meat a lot quicker. Well, cooks everything a lot quicker, but there's no actual oil involved in it. If anything, it actually takes oil out of it. So yeah, I'm kind of similar to Stockard Whiteman there, cutting way back on the soft drinks, especially the ones with artificial sweeteners in them. Air fryers are a god blend. Also, a good blender also helps as well with various things. Not just for making smoothies and that, but for helping making different sauces. If you're making things from scratch, they're helpful. What I've been doing for the last little while, but I think even that I'm going to have to cut back on, is I've been drinking less fizzy drinks, less caffeine. Although I'll be honest with you guys, as soon as we're done streaming, I'm heading out in the kitchen. I'm getting a can of Rockstar at the fridge. It's Friday night. Got 3 videos done. Even managed to get a bonus stream done. So I'm going to give myself a wee treat. I'll be having that and caramel shortcake. Definitely not healthy, but it's my little treat for the weekend. But yeah, I mean, I've got all the things I need there to eat healthy. Basically, all the things to prepare healthy food. It's just a matter of getting off my bum and doing it, or preparing things in advance. Meal prep basically. That's the big thing. A lot of the fitness people I've been watching say it's meal prep. That helps. If you can do things days in advance, some stuff you can freeze, some stuff you'll refrigerate. So bags and tubs and things, and that all helps. Coffee and tea are my weakness. Well, yeah, it means they're not ideal, but it means like drinking coffee and tea is probably better for you than drinking, say, Red Bull or other kinds of soda. Also, is it true they charge you for Red Bull in the UK now? Not yet, although it is going to be passed into law that it can't be sold to anyone under 18, and I actually think that's a really good thing. The fact is, it's just a natural progression though, because for years in the UK, it was store policy in many places. Not my local store actually, but that's up to them. Um, well, I think it really depends who serves you. The place I used to work in, I always refused to sell it to people I knew were under the age of say 16, and there was even one sneaky little so and so that lied to me about his age. I wouldn't ever card anybody. I'd always just ask, "How old are you?" You're not getting it. Or okay, that's fine. There's one little so and so that lied to me, and when I found out he'd actually been lying, he'd actually been under the age of 16. Didn't sell it to him for about 2 or 3 years afterwards. But yeah, a lot of places it was just store policy. It will be becoming law, and I think 18 is the age in more and more places. I know when I go shopping in my local Morrison's, that's a supermarket, they, if I'm using the self-service checkouts, I've always got, and if I'm buying an energy drink of any kind, I've always got to get whoever's standing by to come and approve the sale because I'm 37 years old, but they have to check. They don't card me because I'm obviously, I maybe don't look 37, but I'm obviously not 18 or under. Annie Northman, well, welcome, Annie. Hope you're enjoying things. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, but this meal prep is something just getting into gradually. What I've started doing is certain things I keep stocked. Like I have cans of like butter beans, kidney beans, black beans, things I can toss in if I want to have a stir fry. Use as little oil as possible, obviously. But that's mostly vegetables and things. So that's one way of getting more veg. Green smoothies actually really do help my skin, so I'm going to have to get back into the habit of having a green smoothie a day. And remember to switch up your vegetables with those though. Don't use the same green is basically what the recommendation seems to be. And just little by little, making small changes till eventually your whole diet has changed in a way, and you feel better. Because I do notice a difference. Are people being grumpy in here? Where is it you live, Louise? I know that's about to become the case in the UK, but it's not quite law yet. They've been discussing it, but I'm sure it will pass. And as I say, I think it's a good thing because I know the effect these things have on me, so I certainly don't think anybody under well, I'd say 16 would be old enough, but certainly under 18 would be fine. There's a lot of kids drink them in the UK, and especially when you can get the ones that are quite cheap as well in some places. Um, but the fact of the matter is, kids don't need them; they just like them for the buzz. Phoenix Shepherd, fair enough. If that works out for you, live the life that makes you happiest. Hi, Oscar R. Yeah, I don't actually, personally speaking, I don't have a lot of sugar. What I do is, if I'm having coffee or green tea or anything like that, I use honey, and I've actually started using raw honey, and find it tastes a bit nice. I mean, I used to like the little squeezy bottle of Rosie's honey, which is still nice, but I find the raw ones I've been using are even nicer. Not cheap, but nicer. Yeah, here in the UK, you need to be 18 to drink alcohol, but you'll get carded if you look under 25. It's just kind of a bit of a cushion to make sure people don't screw up. Same for buying cigarettes, although it used to be 16. And I don't actually think I had too many problems when they changed the law. I was working, when I first started working, it was 16 to buy cigarettes. And there was this young lassie who used to come out and get them, and I'd carded her many times. I knew how old she was, and when the law changed, she didn't even try it because she knew. I get the sneaking suspicion her mother may have been buying them for her, but a couple of years later, when she was 18, she came in and started buying them again herself. Where is Hull? Hull's in England. No, you think it would be the same age for most of these restricted things. Although in the UK you can put on lottery tickets when you're 16, unless they've changed that. I remember when I was working retail, they used to do what they call test purchase, and basically they try and catch you out. Insidious bloody thing. And they'd kind of screwed up one day when they came to do it, because they're meant to take people who are about 18, 19, 20, around about that. People who look like they could be under the age you'd ID at. And the person they'd chosen to do it this day was actually only 17. So they weren't legally, they couldn't use that, because they weren't the police, they weren't trading standards. So legally they couldn't use this person to do test purchases with. So they had to try for the lottery instead, and I did pass it, so that was fine. Joe? I don't think I've heard of that one. Oh, right, it's a vape pen. Yeah, they're pretty popular here as well. I think there's about 4 at least in my local town. There might be more, but they keep popping up. That's not to mention the places that aren't vape stores, but they still sell the e-liquids and all. Yeah, I think my nephew uses one of those. I know he's more or less given up alcohol, and I don't think he smokes much at all anymore, which I was so happy to hear. I really was. I know it shouldn't matter to me; it's his life, but I was so happy to hear. Depends on it's safe. Yeah, I suspect they're probably a lot safer than cigarettes, though. Yes. Hi, Johannes doggies. You sit nice and behave yourselves. I think that one's about done, actually. Let's save that. Yes, please. Excellent. That means they're paying attention. Yeah, I got a new thing the other day when I'd ordered a little glass teapot with an infuser in it for making some teas I'd wanted to try, but also got another thing for making cold brew coffee because I quite liked it when I made it last time. The only thing is I got sick around about that time and I put the thing aside and it got a bit manky. It had been cleaned, but I wasn't quite trusting to use it, so I chucked it. I bought a new one for making my cold brew. Allegedly, that's actually better for your stomach, so cold brew tea and coffee are actually quite nice. They're pretty easy to do. You just shove it in the filler and leave it overnight. Yeah, Steph, I don't think vaping's worse than smoking. I don't think that's quite accurate. I think there was a point when they first came out. There were some issues with these things, certainly with people abusing them. But I'd imagine that's not the case now. A food people like that you don't get. Oh well, I quite like iced coffees. Whipped cream. That's something I don't understand why people like it. I've never enjoyed it myself. He was pretty cool, was my father. Tiny green turtles, I'm grossed out by Alfredo sauce. You might say you're Alfredo of it. I don't think those are bell bottoms, are they? No, I don't think so. I think it's just black jeans and what are either Vans or Converse. I'm not sure. Maybe Converse, or possibly just a similar looking knockoff brand. And a Henley shirt. You get transfer from your father hell freezer. Well, my dad was a really good guitar player, so I can play a little bit. Not as good as my dad was, but I can play a little bit. I'm not going to play right now because my guitar's not in tune. And I'm quite good with my hands like my dad was. Kind of attitude where, something gets broken, fix it yourself, if you can. Saves a lot of money. Yeah, I think I darkened that image too much the last time I worked on it, so I don't know if there's an original version there. Well, not on this computer, anyway. What was the worst phase you went through as a kid? I didn't really go through any phases. Nah, I didn't really go through any phases at all. I was quite boring as a kid. Right, I'm not happy with how this is dark around the edges, so we'll see if I can do something to fix it. I mean, I could clone stamp it out, but we'll see if we can do anything else. What's that in the background? No idea. Shepherd, well, that's fair enough. Puka shell necklaces. I suppose puka shell necklaces are okay if you live near the beach. And jorts are pretty cool if you're Kevin Smith. He's a big fan of the jorts, Kevin Smith. That's a little bit. We finally found the Florida man. Somebody call the police. He's likely done something wrong. I'm gonna have to clone step that out, I think. Knew it. Florida man. Haven't even seen YouTube Rewind this year. I think I watched last year's, but yeah. Well, it just fell. No. Just my controller. No, Phoenix is the classy Florida man. Hey, Krispy Kreme. Joe of the Dead, I've went through a slight weep phase. Problem is, I can't shake the weebs, because they've taken over my field of study. Oh, I'm sure somebody must have done that as a comic. Florida Man as a villain. And his sidekick, the Toker. Did that not happen to somebody? Two guys get into an argument, one of them tried to eat the other guy's face? Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. It wasn't his face he tried to eat. The less said about that one, the better. Hello, Master Tyler. How do you want humanity to end? I'd rather it didn't. I prefer either zombies or giant bioengineered dinosaurs. No, the dinosaurs would be too hard to run away from. Zombies are dealable if there's only one or two of them. That's when you get into a horde type situation, they're rascally. Yeah, but there was another one where I heard two guys get into an argument over a game, and I don't know if this was Florida, I'm just assuming it was, and he bit his friend's willy off? Oh dear. You could stereotype that would make a fun villain. Also in Florida there was a guy who ate a homeless guy's face. People thought he was on bath salts. But apparently that's false. He was just angry. Oh, you mean like Lagerlout? Lagerlout Lad. He'd probably be an interesting villain. Oh, Freezer, on here, does it tell you to learn more when you're in chat? I'm not sure I follow. Well, right now we've got a great villain in the UK, but, she is also the Prime Minister. Brexit woman. You'll all leave the European Union whether you want to or not. Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with this Brexit nonsense is a lot of people that voted for it have had their eyes opened since then. I doubt it'd pass if they held to vote again. Please make the voice in the stories. I'll file it away, maybe I'll be able to use it. Any true British stereotypes? Well, we do think tea can solve most problems. Oh, I see. We've been overrun by Vikings, zombies, aliens, and ravenous beavers. Well, I'll go make a cup of tea, shall I? Ooh, Dolores Umbridge. Ugh. She was a nasty one, her. New changes on YouTube. I'm not sure. Yeah, I do get things like that popping up now and again. Hang on. Where's my damn dashboard? There it is. Hey, Whispering Times. Changes. Yeah, I get stuff like that coming up now and again. And there's been sometimes stuff like about Article 13 and so on. Yeah, well. Hey, Myra Freeman, welcome back. Well, it's 2 hours for. May as well go another 20 minutes, just make it 3 hours. We're all here anyway, so let's settle in. Well, I think America's doing a lot worse in politics, although as of January 3rd, things might be on looking up, hopefully. I mean, some of your politicians are lovely dancers, so there's at least that. Ours can't dance at all. It's quite tragic, really. Steph, what's your favourite voice to do, Hellfreezer? I quite enjoy some of the neckbeard voices. The kind of faux intellectual neckbeard. He's very fun for me to do, and I do like my old lady voice when I do the retail stories. Anytime there's an old lady complaining because she thinks she's so right and just can't be wrong, she's always so offended. Article 13, right, yeah. Basically, there's a directive that's been drafted by the EU. It's involving improving copyright laws. But the particular wording of it right now would essentially make YouTube, if they chose to, it would essentially put the burden of copyright on the websites rather than the copyright holders. And so what YouTube is saying they might have to do is essentially they would block access to European websites and from Europe as well, effectively shutting channels that might went down. What they want is basically they want them to reword. Bear in mind, it's not a law; it's a directive. It will be implemented as law in each individual country, and how it's implemented in law will be up to that country, and that might not even apply to Britain anyway if we ultimately do leave the EU. The whole thing's a mess, really. But what they're pushing for, and rightfully so, is to have the wording of it changed to give a bit more leeway. Essentially, you shouldn't be putting the burden on websites. But anyway. Yep, Louise just said Dracula randomly. Well, yeah, what goes on in Parliament can be insane. At least there aren't any punch-ups like there are in some countries. That's fair enough, Phoenix. Are there stories on your channel you don't share, and why? Well, if they're not on my channel, I haven't shared them. But yeah, there's certain subjects I just don't like to touch. I mean, I'll do stories where they're referred to, but not if that's what the story is about. Halloween's Magic Oak. Thanks for stopping in. Don't worry, Tiny Green Turtles will be stopping the politics talk in about 60 seconds. Oh yes, the Dracula voice. Yes, it's so much fun to do. Gravy and Potatoes, excellent name. Hail Fraser, since you do horror readings on your channel, got any favorite horror series? No, honestly, I don't have any favorite horror series. Well, actually, would that Dracula be considered horror? I mean, it's got vampires and everything in it, but... White Trash Zombie, is that horror? Well, maybe a little bit. I suppose horror light. I quite enjoyed the Midnight Crossroads books. Mara Freeman asks, I want to hear your American accent. Hellfreezer, please. And then she's praying like 3 times or something. Celtic girl, don't stop the politics talk, please. Well, chat goes where it goes. You know, it's... best to just let things flow. Nope, tummy's rumbling. Probably have to eat soon. Right, I'm going to save this one for another day because it needs a bit more work than I can do right now. Well, not save the changes on that, that's fine. We'll work on this one of Grumpy Freezer. Don't know what was bothering my face that day. I was probably having some very deep feelings. Now, we like to keep it chill here. I can honestly say I've only had one person come in chat that I found a little rude, and I haven't seen that person back since. They did, unfortunately, annoy one of my regulars, but hopefully that person comes back. Nope, not the right tool there. That being said, everybody's welcome in my chats as long as, you know, they're just, you know, like Bill and Ted said, be excellent to each other. And that's all I ask. I wonder if I've still got that panther picture somewhere. I can't remember what happened to it. Oh, good night, Oscar. Sleep well, if you're going to bed. I'm really not familiar with a lot of heavy metal. I mean, I'm open to most kinds of music. I usually find something I like, eventually. I keep calling you Hellraiser and it's pissing me off. Okay, a lot of people do that, don't worry about it. Yeah, the young lad there, that's me when I was but a sweet, innocent child. I'm still sweet and innocent, mind you, I'm just not a child. No, the picture with the long hair, that was... We can just see half of him, that was my dad. How dare you, Mara? I'm perfectly innocent. And sweet and lovely. In other words also. It was made of velvet, this picture. It's actually quite a nice looking thing. A little bit of a scratch there. No, I don't know what was bothering me that day. I was kind of smiling in the previous picture. Where is it? That one. Yeah, I was smiling in that one. Well, off you go, Mara. Hope you have a swift and fun final hour. Yeah, well, there are even Scottish accents that are very incomprehensible. Um, but it's not even like it's a regional accent, it's just some people don't speak very clearly. I really need to find a cough button. I remember I saw a thing, I think it was on Twitter, but it was meant to be for the BBC, about how Scottish people speak, and it was a Scottish person that hosted it. And yet every comment was like, what the hell are you talking about? I come from the area you're talking about. I don't speak like that. I don't know anyone that speaks like that. And true enough, half the nonsense in there, I don't know where he got it from. It was complete garbage. No, I can't remember where it was. It was a few months ago. Good night, Joe. Sleep well. I'll probably head myself once I finish just taking care of the basics on this picture. Just a few more minutes. Good night, Stockard. No, brown hair. Blondish in my younger days, but brown hair. Bye, Phoenix. Pete, why do you smoke weed? No, I don't. No. Even if I could get access to it, I wouldn't be interested. No problem with people that do, though. Not very fond of the smell of it, however. A bit of red eye there, maybe. I'll try the red eye tool with this thing. doesn't always work properly. No, they hadn't. Oh, there we go. Oh, that actually helped. Do you have those big purple thistles near you? No, we don't. Not near here anyway. Thanks, Pete. Why? Might actually head the now. My rumbly tummy's starting to tell me it's time to eat. One thing I do know, Louise Davis, if you're talking about putting weed in cakes, you've kind of got to watch yourself with edibles because they can be very, very powerful. It's quite easy to think, oh, I'm just eating a yummy cake with a bit of weed in it. And the next thing you know, you're trying to fight a flying giraffe. Yeah, I think that's an improvement. Hi, Madame Raven. Okay, I think that'll do it for now. That's about 3 hours, actually. Probably by the time I'm done saying goodbye, it will be 3 hours. And we'll just close these down. And we'll save those changes. And bye-bye. Save changes to the little woofer as well. There we go. Yeah, Raven, that was me in the middle. So I'm going to head off for now, because that's pretty much 3 hours by this point. A bit longer than usual, actually. I just was kind of chilled out, to be honest with you. And so I'm going to go get a bite to eat, I think. Unwind, enjoy the weekend. So thank you very much to everybody who's joined me and kept me company tonight. Not sure when the next stream is. I've been doing more than usual recently because I wasn't able to do them for a while. And now that I'm able to do them a bit again, I'm kind of quite enjoying them. So I'll come up with something for the next stream in maybe a few days, maybe Sunday, maybe middle of the week, we'll see. I'll try and give a couple hours notice before I go live. Okay. Louise, so you're bothered about your... No, I'm not really bothered about you seeing pictures of me when I'm younger because you're not likely... I look like that, obviously, but I don't look exactly the same now. Same where it's pictures of, let's say, my sister. You probably wouldn't recognise her now. Not just because, many years ago. Okay, so anyway, I'm heading off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.